All right, Filthy here, giving you guys a little bit of my reactions to the Larian Studio stream of their upcoming Baldur's Gate 3. Looking forward to hearing about it with you guys.
All right. So it's coming later because that's per the Dungeons and Dragons rules, so
Yes,
you don't
indeed.
get to pick everything at the beginning of the game.
Yes. So some classes get their subclass at level 2 or level 3.
Yeah, okay, but they're all present. So 48 classes is really a lot to choose from.
48 classes. He probably means 12 classes. I guess that means 4 subclasses per. That's not bad. That's not anywhere near the full range of D&D subclasses out there. And I'm curious what they've drawn from. Are these their own ones or specific sets of books or maybe the base books? Or we'll have to see. There's a lot of fun classes out there in D&D these days. So I'm kind of curious what they've gone with on that.
So if I'm playing the game and I make a mistake here,
Yes.
like what's going to happen? Like, do I need to restart the game or what?
Mistake in the
So
spec,
we
you mean?
wanted to avoid players
Yeah.
having to restart the whole game because it's a very heavily narrative experience.
That is so damn true. And this has pushed me out of RPGs many times in the past, which is by the time I understand the mechanics of the game well enough that I know what I want to do or have discovered things that I wish to do with my characters, I often don't have the patience to grind through the story to that point again. So allowing respecs mid-campaign is fantastic.
And there's a character that you might meet, you will most likely meet, that will allow you to reset your class.
Okay.
And just reinvest all of the levels. This also allows you to really experiment with multiclassing, which is a new feature that we're also shipping at release. In multiclassing, there are a lot of really cool combinations. There are some combinations that don't quite work, and we want the players to really experiment with what is possible. And respec really helps with that.
Yeah.
Be really curious to see exactly how their classes break down. If these are just generic, not generic, if these are base D&D classes like from other books, like directly ported, then we have a ton of knowledge going into this already about what works and what doesn't. We already have a lot of knowledge going into this of what works and what doesn't because it's a D&D combat system based on 5e with lots of the things of that universe that are going to be true. So be curious. The biggest things that would make you want to reset multi-class or failed multi-class stuff, and that would be basically if stuff doesn't behave as intended. And if that's the case, it's probably because of their own kind of homebrew designs as opposed to what's out there. But we'll see.
I've been fooling around with it. I've been very bad at multiclass, I have to say. I did some really crazy combinations for very stupid reasons, but I had a lot of fun with it. All right, so that is the classes. So once we've figured out what class we have, we jump then to backgrounds.
Okay, looks pretty good. Happy to hear about the multiclassing. I'm happy to hear about the respecking. It's nice to see multi-class being available in the base game. That wasn't always true. It certainly wasn't true, for example, of Celasta. I think a lot of the fun in D&D character creation is from the multi-classing system. It allows you to kind of really cherry pick the stuff that you find important to your characters onto whatever character you're doing. And it allows for a bit more, if I'm not planning to play this game through twice, it would kind of be nice to the fact they have 12 characters, 12 different character start places, the core character, not the sub-specializations. It will allow me to get the flavor of some of those characters into my game without having to play for an extra playthrough, which is kind of cool too. Taking a look at my first reveal, at least for me, of the Dark Urge character class. So let's hear what they have to say.
Origin avatar character. You can play as whatever species, class, build, appearance, gender that you would like to, and still have the character's origin story working on top of that. It's an avatar only character, so it means it's just a character that you can play as, and you don't know what this character is. This character is someone who's waking up and the only feelings that they have are the bile of their liver, the gushing of their blood in their ruined body telling them you're going to kill and kill again. The Dark Urge, in a lot of ways, is a dark counter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like every other morning from the sounds of it. Okay. I mean, as long as D&D has been around, there's been murder hobos. So I guess we have a class that is now a murder hobo, or not a class, but a avatar character that is a murder hobo. It'd be interesting to see what they want to do with that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that would justify a second playthrough because it'd be so different. And I know a lot of the depth of this game is going to be the various interactions that will be generated from the decisions you've made, which is kind of a cool idea. We've heard this said a lot, but I've never seen it done to quite the level that this game is promising to do it.
Counterpoint to the main storyline. Play with the concept of why are we always so compelled to do terrible things in video games in the first place.
For my first full playthrough at launch, I think I would probably play the Dark Urge. I'm a little bit scared to see what I would learn about myself, but I think that's part of the
It's
fun
role
of it.
playing. That's the fun of it. I mean, imagine if you only role played the exact character that you actually were in real life. You know, like, the whole point is to have some fun and play around with that. So.
It was a Dark Urge move.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's nice that they've added that. It's something a little bit different, especially to expressly acknowledge that this is how players have always behaved, and having a class or a subclass or a specialization, or whatever you want to call this Dark Urge avatar character, as a way to do that's kind of nice. I don't think I want all of my playthroughs incorporating that, but it'll be interesting to see the difference. And I suppose the only way you're going to see the difference is to try them both. So we'll have to see. It's a little bit tempting, but it's also a little bit tempting not to do that. I feel like there's often plenty of ways to be a morally ambiguous group, right? Of some people perhaps who are more good aligned in your group than others, and then to play that out. Maybe you steal but don't kill. Maybe you occasionally are doing something really evil, but most of the time you're trying to be a reasonable person. Maybe you don't help some subset of people for some reason. It's interesting to see that as black and white as that is, and I'm curious to see how that impacts the playthrough as a whole. Yeah, it's kind of a neat idea. I'm curious to see what they've done with it. Okay, let's see what they have to say about Tactician mode.
Here, so we switched it to Tactician. And I guess, yeah, shall we? You go first, Adam.
Okay. I don't know why they're laughing. So,
Get over there! Surround them like!
we don't need to listen to them. Attack.
Looks like we're spotted, lads!
Okay, I played this encounter. This was in their early access Act 1. This is like a rooftop goblin ambush, if I recall correctly. It's a pretty nasty fight if you...
So,
let's see what they do.
see, before we snuck up on the roof, we got up onto the roof. It worked out well, but this time I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to take
Why does this feel like it's not at max setting? It is. Okay.
this one out first. I should be pretty sheltered from those guys here. And I'm going to use my silence over on these ones.
That's actually quite smart.
Is it? Why is he silencing archers? Are they casters?
I think it's...
You said that like it was really unexpected.
He's a master, Sven.
I am too far away to do it, which makes it less smart. So I'm going to make darkness over here, so that anyone who comes down here is going to have difficulty shooting me.
It's an interesting decision. Is that a bonus action, darkness? No, it's a full action.
This.
Oh.
Okay, a bunch of concentration saving throws. What else did we see there? So some sort of... I wonder what exploded there. Was it an explosive arrow, or was it an explosive arrow into some sort of exploding effect?
That's what you meant with the...
Oh, explosive surprise. Yeah.
So the barrel wasn't there before.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, they got one tapped over there? Okay.
Sven?
I assume you're applauding that I'm still standing.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. I got an ID. Can you pick up your controller?
Yes.
She's now taking her controller and she's switching to controller mode. She's still dead, doesn't help the situation. However, we have the Master of Combat sitting right here,
I thought that was me.
the second Master of Combat, and he is going to demonstrate how well he knows this game by making all the difference. Matt Holland, with a round of applause, please pick up the second controller.
Well, it can't be
And
worse
switch
than
to
getting
screen.
full knocked out in round one
All right,
before you
so
act.
Tell us what's going on, Matt.
So we are now playing in local split-screen combat here, and player 3 has entered the game. So unlike these guys, I have decided to get ahead of the game. I didn't go in right away. I decided to sneak up behind the goblins. See,
I am curious to see what this is. Some of these games use a system where your characters who are in combat don't lock out your characters who are out of combat from setting up. And this feels a little bit like that. I think I can see the fire effects of the combat already having started. And this character is not bound to turn-based moves, which means That's kind of cool. That means you could engage with your like tank, for example. Presumably they didn't do that because they get knocked over in round 1, while your like archers or rogues start in the back. Could be really cool.
They're in combat, but the goblins haven't noticed me yet, so I get the opportunity to get a cheeky little shot off here. Actually, you know what? Let's do some dragon breath. See how they like that.
It seems your actions have earned you an enemy.
They didn't like that very much.
You weren't an enemy actually yet.
Yeah, they didn't know him.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
And
kind of cool.
because I used my action to do the breath, I only have my bonus action left, but that's all right, because now I get to punch it. We like punching here. All right, that's 1 down, and I'll end my turn.
Did
Maybe
the
you
other
wanna
team
guide
get full
Adam?
wiped? The other team got
What?
full wiped. That's not the case at all then.
Accept advice from the master when it's your turn.
I'm dead.
Yeah, me too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are they dead or unconscious?
very
If it's
dead.
D&D, they should be
Yeah, yeah,
unconscious.
yeah.
Unless they got enough damage to
I
knock them out the
didn't
back
get
door
to
of
say
hell.
anything. I just walked in there.
Did I too?
They got me too.
No, Adam did something. You passed the
Fine.
darkness.
Faster.
You gonna solo this?
Oh, it's
yeah,
him
our
alone.
sound. We lost our sound.
Oh, never mind then.
It's the sound of my silencing skills. As I accidentally loot a corpse.
Hope that wasn't his action.
All right. I don't know. This looks a bit dicey, even for the second master. But I'm gonna go in.
Are you telling me you're gonna die?
He's gonna go in versus archers? Why doesn't he LOS him and pull him forward?
I'm gonna try to kite them here.
Yeah.
And end my turn. See, that guy's really
Arrest
angry.
them.
He just wants to arrest me.
Oh.
That guy just summoned a warg on top of me.
Oh,
Is
it was a
that part of the
spellcaster.
spice that you added to the work?
that is a bit of extra spice we added. And as much as I do like spice in my game, this one might be a bit spicy for just my little monk here.
Well, you can still help us, but
He's so
I
clear
can't
he's
promise
dead.
you would do any good.
I don't think I can. You're both dead.
Yeah. Oh, did we die for real? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
for-
Oh no.
Whenever you want to say it's that you admit defeat, Matt, is fine.
I clearly have to go and learn from Sensei. Here.
All right. Okay, give it up for Matt Holland and team on combat.
Okay. Tactician mode is going to be hard, is what we've been told. And that certainly looks hard. Hard in D&D is not always fun. So I don't know if I'll be playing on that mode or not. The downside of something like very hard in D&D is units one-shot you. And the entire strategy then becomes about either maximizing AC in a way that you can't be touched, or only taking these fights where you can never have that kind of situation arise. There's something fun about going into the story arc of a planned encounter that has twists and turns, where you don't have to know those twists and turns to still have a chance to survive it. So I tend to like to play on higher difficulties, but D&D has never scaled super well for me with any of the games I've played on the highest difficulties. So we'll have to figure out what the most fun element of this is going to be, because I'd like to engage with their storyline, and I don't want to get bored of the one-dimensional of like be killed instantly or crush the fight kind of stuff. So we'll have to see. There were some big problems with that, with like Pathfinder and to a lesser degree Celesta's core storylines. So hopefully they've avoided that trap here. It'd be lovely to play on a high difficulty and have it be fun. And if monsters don't just get stats, like that warg summon, for example, is entirely different. Normally when D&D monsters scale, it's just AC, resistance saves, and HP, right? And that as a new ability that they have, if that's different than on a lower difficulty, that'd be a really awesome way to scale difficulty without necessarily making it that really binary fun, no fun kind of difficulty scaling that happens in D&D. So fingers crossed. Let's see. We'll have to see as the game releases if they've done that for more mobs to give them other options that are available on higher difficulties but aren't there before. It'd be really cool if we actually saw that listed somewhere, like the enemy card, and then here's the enemy card ability, and then here's the enemy card ability on Tactician mode. That'd be super cool. All right, next segment is something about choices and consequences. Let's see what happens here.
This is no ordinary darkness. It feels powerful and familiar. These lands have been blessed by Lady Shah. You must learn more about her presence here.
Are you the true soul?
So I came through Act 1 in a very different way. So Sven mentioned I didn't go through the Underdark. I came by the Mountain Pass, which is where Lysel's gift crashes that she talks about a lot. And more importantly, you see my second option here, I was sent by Minthara. So I actually sided with the Absolute. I went...
Ton of spoilers here. We got to be careful with this. Since I didn't know any of these outcomes yet, and now I'm learning about this through their stream. That said, let's see what the outcomes of having different options are.
Along with them, I massacred the Druid Grove in Act 1. Halsin's gone, sorry, no burst for you. And, and now I've arrived through a different route. I'm also playing as Shadowheart, so Shadowheart is my avatar, she's my origin character. And she feels resonance with this land, and I've got a little greeting here.
Oh, bless the Absolute. I couldn't take standing out here much longer. Grab a torch, stay out of the dark, and move fast. The shadows have eyes. Go on.
Now, I'm not going to grab a torch because I'm Shadowheart, and I am one with Lady Shar. So I think I can probably navigate this curse without help. You'd also notice I'm alone.
God, it looks so good, doesn't
Got
it?
a lot of trophies of companions in
Modern
my
age graphics, the decent budget, and a big game company behind it.
You see the Shadow Curse lands, it's incredibly bleak. There's color, there's these blooms spotted around the place.
I can feel her.
And there's chasms everywhere. It's a very, very sinister place. But I've got friends here. And my friends aren't sheltering. They belong here.
Hey, boy, you want the bone? Fetch!
I'm just going to observe.
Kind of curious to see what they're going to be doing here.
You see that blighter go? Swallowed whole by the Shadow Curse. Bet it was pure tasty. You're the true soul we're taking to Moonrise, I'm guessing.
I am. I was sent here by Minthara.
Right you are. Go through and talk to Kansif. He's been waiting.
I will, but I didn't like what he did to the hyena, so he can go get the bone.
That's funny.
Wait, you're joking, yeah?
As you all know by now, I don't
Ready
make
to
jokes.
go. You just need to tell Kansif inside.
I'm a cleric of Shar. This is Sharon Lands. I'm going to tell him that I'll strike him down with the power of the
It's
divine.
actually some deep evil roleplay. You don't get to see that very often.
I mean, I'll just go and
Die from the looks of it.
no.
Shadowheart approves.
The little like evil smirk at the end. It's pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Did you bring the lyre?
I did. Minthara gave me a lyre. She told me that playing this would summon a guide through the darkness.
Then pluck a tune, and our guide will come scuttling.
Now, I'm a cleric, not a bard, but...
Oh, failed it.
It'll be fine.
I am really looking forward to the game that's been designed with all the interactions to begin with.
Beautiful.
All the skill checks actually mattering as opposed to just combat skill checks. Oh, that's super cool looking.
Mistress, what are we doing to it? Greetings, in the Absolute's name. You have been charged with guiding us.
No flesh, my queen. But who are they?
Best introduce yourself. Perhaps you'll listen to a true soul.
So, I think these are far more interesting friends than the Harpers.
Yeah, agreed.
And
That's really cool.
I'm gonna see if he will take me to Moonrise, as I was told.
And you? What are you?
I didn't know these half spider creatures could be male. They were like female drows, female dark elves or something.
Your minds connect, and you hear a whispered voice. The Absolute. Or just the echoes of his fractured mind reverberating in the dark.
A true soul. You have more worshippers every day, Majesty. Yes, yes, she'll do nicely.
There's gonna be such a good game.
So we could ask him some more questions, of course, but I'm just actually going to follow him. I'm going to go along with him.
Very well. Gather the flock.
Maybe a game that I finally don't want to skip cutscenes on.
Majesty, shine your light. Protect us.
I think so.
Come, follow, and stay close. Do not leave the light. Do not feed the shadows.
You heard him. Move out!
So now we're traveling through these Shadow-Cursed lands. As I said to you, Shadowheart doesn't need protection here. These guys do. That's why they got the torches. Torches will protect you unless you go too deep. Shadow-Curse gets more dangerous the deeper you go.
We should stay in the light. Wants to become shadows.
What happens
So
if he
stay
stops
with him.
following, I
You can see
wonder?
this border here. This is from this lantern that he's carrying.
Oh, neat.
And that's what's actually protecting us.
See the light barrier
I do
then?
want to loot this outhouse, but I'm not going to. It's too risky.
They must keep up. The shadows are hungry.
And this is a pretty vast place, the Shadow-Cursed lands. But I've got a guide, so we'll get to Moonrise. Never good when you fail a perception roll.
Patience.
Yeah, that's a universal truth of all these systems.
Wait. Something's wrong, Majesty.
Where did the orcs go?
Who's there? Show yourself!
Or the goblins, I mean.
Harpers attack! Kill the cultists and get that lantern! Heretics! Villains in the dark!
These Harpers are clearly enemies of the Absolute. They could be worthwhile allies. But defend the guide and you may preserve your cover as a true soul.
So I'm going to switch back to Sven now while I decide what to do here.
Oh, that's
When
cool.
you come back, you'll see what I did. You can make a guess. But you see,
Go deeper
I
into
started
cover or
on
not.
this route, so I've gone this more evil route. I'm with the Dryder, but I still can switch sides. I'm not locked into this route. I can go with the Harpers now. They don't know who I am yet. I'd have to explain myself, but we'll see where Sven is.
Man, am I actually going to care for once which factions I know and how I met them?
So I am...
To your church every day, my queen.
How's this guy's going to go?
Legion.
Go. We'll wait for your signal.
Totally different interaction, right? Yeah. That's a cool system. Really looking forward to seeing that. Maybe it will have multiple playthroughs. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about that. Maybe it's in-depth enough that replaying some of the similar things will be so different that it won't feel like playing the same game again. Or if it does, it will feel different enough that it's still fun. Pretty hyped.